Looking for answers for a Benghazi hero, diplomatic security agent David Ubben says he ran into the burning consulate to help recover the body of Foreign Service officer Sean Smith. This was during the second wave of attacks at the annex. Ubben then fought alongside former Navy SEALs Tyrone Woods and Glenn Doherty, who were killed by mortar fire on a rooftop. Ubben was stuck on the roof for 20 hours before help arrived, and when a chopper finally did, it was not a medical aircraft. Now, some lawmakers are demanding a special investigative committee into finding out what went terribly wrong here. Texas Congressman Louie Gohmert, a member of the House Judiciary Committee, with me now from his home district. Sir, good morning to you. You have taken up his cause in a significant way. You've had a lot of contact with him. What are you learning?
Well, I've been talking to David for a number of months. Just hadn't gone public with it at his request. But he is a hero. So were Tyrone and Glenn Doherty, that were on Tyrone Woods on top of the roof. They were fighting to give cover and did so, very heroic. And there were other State Department employees that helped get him, get his leg tended to. David had thought he was going to lose his leg because of the damage done with the mortar rounds that killed Ty and Glenn. But what really it gets back to is why there was such lax security, why we were unable to get people to them more quickly, why people in Washington went to bed knowing they were in harm's way without getting them the help they needed. Perhaps when the embassies were attacked in the Clinton administration back in '98, if we had found out then why there was such lax security that allowed that, we wouldn't have lost 4 people in Benghazi last September. So we need to get to the bottom so lives can be saved in the future, and the blood of these heroes cries out for answers.
He is still in the hospital today. That's my understanding at Walter Reed.
Right.
How serious are those injuries to him?
Well, he had thought he was going to lose his leg because he saw how much of it was missing. And it was tough when they finally got a plane there so late, but it wasn't a medical aircraft. But the State Department personnel had done a good job of trying to pull together what was left of his leg. But there were no painkillers. They weren't prepared for this, and we've got to find out why they were not.
And he's requested to have part of his identity not revealed, at least his face anyway. Why is that? Well, will that change?
He's a patriot. He's former Army Ranger. He just wants to serve his country. He's not looking for glory. He doesn't consider himself a hero, though he certainly is. This is just a great American, a wonderful wife, great 2 little children, little daughter and son, I guess about a year old now.
You've talked to him several times. Have you met with him at Walter Reed? And if he is able to tell his story publicly, what story will he tell? What will he testify to?
Well, the people that were situated as was he have such a limited amount they can tell. They came under attack. It was clearly an attack. It was well coordinated. The people were well trained, and everybody knew that from the first minute it happened. Then it was just a matter of trying to keep as many of the personnel alive as possible. So they don't have knowledge about why there wasn't security, why there wasn't more forthcoming help, rescue, anything like that. So their testimony, I think, is not nearly as important to what happened as those around who know why the president didn't get them help, know why Secretary Clinton wouldn't give them the security they needed. Those are the answers we really need to get to, Bill.
All right, there are hearings. There are hearings we anticipate in the coming months. Will he testify?
Right. I think it remains to be seen. But let me just tell you, yes, I met him at Walter Reed. When we go out there as members of Congress, it's the greatest honor you can have. Meet people who are the greatest heroes that I've ever run into. They love their country. They care deeply. And that was when I met David on one of those trips.
One last question here. There are reports that some have been told not to talk. Is he one of them?
Not to my knowledge. He just prefers not to. He wants to remain private. It gets tough sometimes doing quiet work in the State Department if you're all over the news all the time. So he just wants to remain private as long as possible.
10 months later, still at Walter Reed.
And I
getting
honored
medical care.
that.
Yeah. Louie Gohmert, thank you for your time with us from your home district.
Sure, always
today.
good to talk.